proper etiquette. UMG and Drake's lawsuit is coming full circle over the Not Like Us song. Drake is talking about defamation. They come after his character. He's been defamed, and UMG is doing this. UMG is Kendrick Lamar's parent label, Drake's parent label, and he's claiming they took a side against him to destroy him. And he's been getting all of the narratives against him. And a lot of people feel that Drake is going out pretty sad in this case. Well, we're here to talk over what happened in court today because a lot was said in this courtroom. A lot went down, bro. We finna cover it all, buddy. So, champagne sloppy, get ready. We finna go through this case. Are we ready for it? Because it's coming now. Now, if you're aware, Not Like Us took place. UMG is trying to get this case dismissed. So they have to have a hearing to see if this case is going to be dismissed. And Drake lawyers tried to pull some fast ones in court. Woo, buddy. Champagne sloppy, they are really going all in for all your money. Well, see, that's what happens when you spend so much money on lawyers and all this legal fees and all these charges that keep popping up, right? Eventually, that stuff catches up with you and you'll get put in a situation that you don't want to be in. All the way around the board. I'm not moving the goalpost for Diddy and Kendrick. You will have to explain that, sir. Me, I'm telling you what's going on in court. That's not moving the goalposts. That's telling it like it is. See, y'all like to believe in the eccentrics. I don't. It could move in that way. I'm just bothering you. Yeah, well, when people start making yeah, it's the motion to dismiss. They actually included this into the lawsuit. I want you to see it. This is called the Big Three. But Drake, Harvey Weinstein, and Epstein. Drake in the Big Three. So they like, this stuff is posted up out there. This is all because of Not Like Us. Drake has never been found guilty or nothing, and this and this. So because of this so-called big three that's being implied, right? All the people start reacting in a different tone. I swear to God, it just got out of control. And it got there pretty fast. Well, everybody's back. Slick Rick is 60. He's back. So why not Drake? I mean, why not Will Smith? But we're going to get into all these things that are going on right now. It's a lot to take in, a lot to pack in right now. But you're going to know all the transcripts of what happened, in the city. It was right down there on all this Diddy, coverage has been absorbing all the press. So that's been taken away from what you've been hearing about the trial altogether. So if you know that, then you know that there's actually steps that's being taken to have this kicked out of court. And Drake is trying to save face as his album is coming out. And I think once his album is out, Kendrick Lamar is going to release the GNX Deluxe with new music. And that would blow away Drake record sales. I've actually mentioned about Drake lining him up or attempting to have him lined up in the UK. Now, I don't know what is he trying to do by doing the acts that is alleged that his people are doing. Yes, hit the like button, good people, so we can get started. Mm-hmm. Well, you start thinking about, yeah, well, Toronto had its own problems for years with gang violence and things of that nature. So this song didn't make Drake do anything. I mean, Canada has its own situations that they deal with, and that's just that. Mm-hmm. Well, Judge Vargas is taking on the case, and they say you seem to say a diss track could never be defamatory, is what they were saying. But New York law says there's a form that is not dispositive. And UMG lawyers pounce back. Look at the shock jock case. And the judge tells UMG lawyer that's not the same. Perhaps the court needs to get more information and cannot dismiss this case. So Drake opened the door. That's what UMG lawyer said. Drake opened the door in third person. That when Kendrick Lamar said, heard you like him young, there is no surprise. And then, Drake's lawyer jumps in. Mr. Lamar suggests that there are other secrets he have yet to reveal. It's ambiguous. I mean, and then UMG starts saying, look, these are questions of law. The court can dismiss. And the judge said, what are certified pedophile? What is that? And UMG's lawyer said, it's a play on certified lover boy. They said, but the judge is like, but what the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? And they said the context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. And they said, we seek dismissal for Drake having using the information and belief form of pleading. And then the judge said, Mr. Galaub for Drake, what is your rule? He says, on Rule 12 motion, the question is whether a listener could have thought facts were being conveyed. And Drake's lawyer said, they want your honor to weigh 17 articles, but the time to weigh evidence is not at this stage. Judge said, I can take judicial notes and take judicial notice. The lyrics are what they are, right? And so what Drake's lawyer is trying to say is that we have 17 different articles. So you can possibly go through all 17 articles. And therefore, there's not time to weigh the evidence is not at this stage. So you can't even deal with that. So what they're trying to say is you can't dismiss because we got all this evidence for you to go through and there ain't enough time for you to do that. But the judge said, I could take judicial notice. The lyrics are what they are, right? Like I could see the lyrics for myself, right? So this judge is finna hear all the rap battle. So this case is getting crazy as it's just getting started. So Drake's lawyer said UMG made this song more culturally ambiguous than any other. 9 billion streams, played at a bar mitzvah. And Judge Vargas said an interesting bar mitzvah that would play this song. And the judge says, and then there's the use of the AI voice of Tupac. And then Drake's lawyer says, I'm not convinced of the relevance. And the judge said, shouldn't I review the entire rap battle? And then Drake's lawyer that was unique. So now the judge is going through the whole rap battle. They want him to focus on, they want the judge to focus on Not Like Us. They were like, no, just focus on Not Like Us. You're going off into the rap battle. Forget all that. So now that the judge says, shouldn't I review the whole rap battle? Drake's lawyer don't want him to do that. Sloppy lawyer like, no. This is about Not Like Us. It ain't about what the hell we was doing. Oh no, time out. Judge, hold on, now what you doing? What the hell? Who told you to go that far back in the thing? Now focus on Not Like Us, Judge. What you doing? Hey, they start panicking quick when the judge said, well, he sampled the AI voice of Tupac. Oh, man, that lawyer jumped up quick. Hold on. Wrong song. Oh man, that out of the whole thing, that part there cracks me up. Cause the judge is like, shouldn't I review the whole rap battle? Like what are we doing? And the judge said, they was like, that was a unique situation, Your Honor. And they was like, the judge is like, well, here they said, well, Kendrick Lamar didn't know he'll be performing at the Super Bowl. The judge, and then Drake's lawyer jumps up. UMG republished the material with knowledge when it launched the Super Bowl campaign. There were 3 attacks on his home. The cover art is Drake's home. This is with sex offenders location tags. And the judge said, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child? The court doesn't have enough info on that. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This guy said, didn't Drake say, the judge said, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child? Like, he's reading the judge is just getting caught up on this battle. So you didn't introduce the judge into a whole nother world, put him in a whole nother realm. The judge is like, wait a minute. Did you just say that this man, his kid is not his biologically? And you talking about defamation? And then the lawyer, this dumbass lawyer says, we don't have enough info on that. So you don't have enough info to call a man and say a man who's the father of his child is not. What you mean? They were like 10% of the streams are false. A popular podcaster alleged the use of bots. There's also a stream farmer. These were whistling, misdirection, search researches, and payola. And he's like, what is the damage in bot streaming? Every other artist in the platform is injured. UMG lawyer said, in the record are articles mentioning his going to girls' basketball games, relationships at 31 with 13-year-olds, MBB, and we have the lyrics, Your Honor. Oh! They brought up Drake's relationships. They took him going to the girls' basketball games. They got all the articles. His relationship with the 13-year-olds and everything. Oh, my God. MBBs. Oh, they got you sloppy. They got time today. They got time today.
He's known my friend since she was at USC. I've known her since high school basketball. And I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing with Drake. That's one. Two, y'all did not understand what I was trying to say at all. He's known my friend since she was at USC. I've known her since high school basketball, and that might be a part I didn't fully get into detail because it just was not on my mind. I didn't think people would be twisting what I had to say like this. He didn't speak to anyone while they was in high school, okay? I said I messaged him after high school. That was our first time ever speaking, and it was for him to get on.
She's trying to change face and change the story up. And then they tried to introduce the Millie Bobby Brown, because they said MBB, Millie Bobby Brown, Drake's relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. So that was brought up in the court case. And they dropped this saying this is the Drake defenders. Look, she was around other people who were grown. Look, that's Ed Sheeran. She was with Taylor Swift. She was around these people. They didn't call them pedos. Why only Drake? Well, none of these people were texting her privately, guiding her, meeting up with parties, and going in personal spaces where it's just those two. None of those people were doing this. Giving her relationship advice. None of these people were doing that except for Drake. Yeah, well, it's a lot going on in the case. When people find out what's really going on with the Drake, the whole layout of the lawsuit, the whole defamation, which is completely crazy. Um, mm-hmm. Yeah, well, when you accuse someone of conspiring against you, yeah, UMG is seeking the dismissal, and Sloppy is the main culprit that's trying to fight to keep the case going. So the oral arguments began today, and they presented their cases to UMG. So right away, I could see that this is going to be a dismissal because Drake opened the door to this whole thing when the tailor-made freestyle and all the stuff saying that in push-ups when he says, "Yeah, I know you're gonna talk about me and young girls and all that stuff." Like, yeah, I know, I'm waiting on it. So he's opened the door. He mentioned also about all the things he did, accused the man's wife or fiance accused him of domestic abuse. You accused him of not being the father of his child. So you've done your dirt in this whole rap battle, and no one was suing you. And you have used these practices before that you're trying to accuse UMG of. So if you want to go down this road, UMG is like, we'll expose it all. Meaning they'll go back to the Meek Mill battle, they'll go back to other previous battles you've had with other people where you wanted to use UMG services to submerge people's lyrics against you, etc. Now with Rock Nation and UMG, with Tata, they got this soft Asian music going on, so that's why they were there to present this. Oh yeah, with Lucian Grange being there, they weren't even worried about the trial. They're going more into the soft Asian music with Desi Trill. That is now this the new thing that they're worried about is promoting this Desi Trill thing with Tata and them being involved in this new wave in soft Asian music. As the new wave of the future. UMG likes it. They're on the board. They're not even concerned about this case in trial. That's what I've been trying to tell people from the jump. They have not been moving if this is something that is of a concern of theirs, like something that is like moving the needle. It is very upsetting to some people that that has been the case. Vaughn, you must be on crack. You better settle this out of court. No. You mean throughout the false narratives month after month that UMG is preparing to settle with Drake and all this stuff, and it's going to be $1 billion settlement and all this craziness? No. Drake lawsuit will be dismissed, and it's going to end right here. So, and he would have spent all this legal money for nothing. Oh, the tour is going on as planned. They're not going to be able to do anything about it. Drake is going to lose in the lawsuit of Not Like Us, and he thinks he's protected. And if he loses, this whole thing, every single lie he's told in his lawsuits, it just shows the hypocrisy in what all he does. He's a liar and a manipulator. And Champagne Sloppy, the whole world needs to know that's exactly what he is. Yeah, so when you're suing your own parenting label, you're putting yourself in a box where you're just like the cap artist. You get to lie about everything, and nobody can say anything to you because you feel you're Drake, you're Drizzy. Who could say anything to Drizzy Drake? Look, the cap master right there. There you go. He's just straight cap. The man that likes to play victim. That's him. He's a horrible effing person. And he's a fraud. Exactly. I will review the album when it comes out, and then I'm done with it. ASAP. He has lived up to every lyric that has been said about him. He lives up to it. A disgusting, despicable human being who insecurities drives his very existence. The colonizer of hip hop. Well, you can call him that too. I mean, it's a lot of things you can call this man right about now. You're always going to have people who look at situations through other people's lens and say, well, if we had done this right, that right, and this right, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Yeah, well, other people find the results of actions of others is what people like to use that term. Don't let the action of others bring you down. Don't let the actions of other people interfere in the way you move. Don't let the actions of others. So they're letting the actions of others get in the way here. So this is just the opening arguments. Oh yeah, they've been roasting Drake since the judge said, wait a minute, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child? Oh, that was different. Everybody has been using that meme all day. Oh, that was different. Didn't he say he wasn't the father of the child? Uh, well, that was different. Shouldn't I review the entire rap battle? Well, that was unique. So UMG put up Millie Bobby Brown. They showed him with young people, all these articles, all these videos of him being with young girls, his weird trips to Turk and Caicos. They said, hey, honesty, so fantastic and a great motto. We just text each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. And I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. Yeah, I don't think everybody else being 31 talking to a 31-year-old.
Houston? Wait. Don't you live in 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 Houston? Wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said in the records of article mentioning his going to girls. That's what UMG said. Going to girls' basketball games. Relationships at 31 with 13-year-olds. Millie Bobby Browns. You know, there's plenty of heat that we could throw in. Plenty of it. You see, the main problem that they have is that there's so many people not even understanding the gist of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Well, they're always going to have different opportunities out for the, yeah, they're always going to have different opportunities out for the children and things of that nature. But when you start talking about music and you start moving in that platform, you've already opened the door. Andy, yeah, I'll talk about the Drake abs thing later. I got a video on it. I know exactly what he's doing and what it is. And yes, it is a procedure, but I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what it is and what it's called. I've never seen anyone to put what you would say Drake should be or shouldn't be. I haven't seen anyone make that kind of observation of like where he should be and should he be put in a box and all of these different and crazy narratives that other people have come up with that really hasn't made a lot of sense to other people. In the process, the whole process has been flawed, to say the least. So for us, it's been a difficult display to deal with. It's got everybody a little curious as to what direction they're going in because it's not making a lot of sense to us. And for the people involved, it's kind of, just all over the place. Now, if you start going by like records and saying like what someone pretty much have put together, earned or didn't earn, yes, it's a whole different intake on the legal system. Drake should have this thing. I mean, it should be dismissed here. It should not move forward because both have engaged in a rap battle. It wasn't like it's one person and we got to go. No, it takes two to tango. So if it takes two to tango, then what the hell are we talking about? All right, let's see if Chubbs really crashed something. You know, I've seen that too. There are a lot of people that make these big grandstances. Right, everybody make these grandstances like, oh, this is no, it's they got a case. Oh no, they got this. This is important. They doing that. No, you gotta do this. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Because first of all, they way off if they're thinking about like this being a major case. UMG is not even concerned. They got their legal people there to handle it, and they're gonna get this thing going out. It shouldn't have got past discovery. At the end of the day, Drake has spent all this legal money to come out with nothing. He's gonna look stupid at the end of the day. He absolutely remotely will look dumb when this whole thing finished. No. The major problem is it's like they say, your first one is like your last one. What are you gonna be doing when all of this is transpiring? You know, and that's how I feel. What is the general public gonna be doing when all this is going down? That's because most people don't care. They don't really put their focus on this case like that. Mm-hmm. No, I go by court files and papers. If you go on my Patreon, I'm gonna have this whole PDF for you. If you want to read it or see it, it's the new operative defamation complaint because what they do is they modify it. So if you want to see this, let me know. It's gonna be on the Patreon. If you're on my Casino for Life Patreon, you're definitely gonna have this the new file and complaint so you can see it. Therefore, you don't have to go by other people's words. You know, you get to have it for yourself. That's for all my members. Mm-hmm. He updated the lawsuit. Well, when you get to the gist of it, you'll see. As this case goes on, we'll find out more and more of what's going on and what to do and what not to do. Um, well, it's only because he updated it. Wow, they nice and kicked everybody off, huh? See? Casino for Life Patreon. Read Drake new defamation complaint motion. Now, us as a community, where does this put us? Well, depending on what you mean by the word us. Well, GNX keeps breaking records. Just made history, now the longest running #1 album ever on top rap albums. On the charts with 22 weeks. Who still has this in rotation? Me. And it's become a global phenomenon because the tour was so great. And the way they did the tour, everyone around who's seen the tour or go around doing anything about the tour, you know, it's a different feeling. Well, when you it's just so much nonsense that goes on in today's society and the world that it's not even bothering to anyone. Like, it don't bother me. Said he bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Now we see that Drake was not as big as he implied. It was all theoretical. The numbers indicate Drake has been in decline for years. And I said decline. Certified Lover Boy album was the last album and project he put out that did decent. But as he tried to chase other people's, and as he tried to go and chase other moments, the outskirts, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that was the case, wasn't it? 100% across the board. Well, I hope they get it right, but I don't see it going in that way because you know how this legal system is. There he is, Sloppy. Hey, it's Sloppy. Dum 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 dum. He can walk into any book where there's gonna be probably too. You can go through every lie he told and out through the rap battle. From push-ups. Push-up came out with nothing but lies. if we're gonna go by that sloppy, everything you said in push up. Your last one brick, you really ain't on it. His last one didn't brick. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Nobody depending on you, sloppy. Your songs ain't charting, and when they do make the charts, they're off the charts so quick, your head's spinning. So some crappy songs for you, you gotta go on tour to make the money back. For all the losses that acquired doing that doggone album. So you gotta go on tour to make some of that money back, because them bills are due. The bills are cometh. The bill always a cometh due. No, I ain't get that from Wayne. He get that from himself. Drake is the biggest weirdo in the game. So when you're the biggest weirdo in the game, this is expected. Now, excuse me, as I go ahead and get things situated. I'll be doing some more stuff later. We'll talk about Drake's abs, and I'll explain to y'all exactly what's going on. All right. Later.